The session, of course, is Bollywood the next 5 years. So we're talking to young actors, we're talking to the bunch of younger stars who will hopefully, and we have no reason to believe that they won't, from the work that they've done, change the way things are done and make exciting movies. So, Anu, do you want to add something to that?
Yeah, these are the people who are going to shape the next few years.
Yeah, so let's call them out one by one.
Yeah, we're going to call them out one by one. This is really the session where we show off that we have all these cool young friends. So put your hands together for this really cool batch of young stars. We have Alia Bhatt, Ayushmann Khurana, Parineeti Chopra, Arjun Kapoor, Kriti Sanon, and Aditya Roy Kapur. Hello. Impressed?
I should sit as far away from Rajiv Masan as possible. The last time we were on stage together, it didn't pan out really well.
We'll just
Let's just ask what happened.
Guys, you all know that this panel is called Bollywood the next 5 years. We're saying that you are the future, you are the next 5 years, and hopefully next 10 and 15 years. Do you feel like that's a lot of pressure? And it's not just us saying it, right? I mean, you are the next, you are the next brigade. You are the young uns. Do you feel like there is a pressure, a responsibility to deliver, to make to make great movies, to take sort of the legacy forward?
Now that you mention it, yeah. I mean, yeah, I think they're all accidental products of just wanting to be in the profession to begin with. The realization of pressure is coming now when we are getting to interact with more and more people and our films are doing better and better. And there is a certain pressure because of the numbers that are happening or by chance or just by the quality of the films we've happened to be part of or vice versa. But we're still very, very young in that sense. We still have to discover ourselves before we realize these pressures. That's what I feel. And if we think about pressures, we won't be able to do justice to taking those chances that we might take when we don't think about things like this.
Yeah, I also think it's important to not take yourself too seriously and the choices that you're making as something that you're looking at is that's going to change the game or anything. So just be yourself, go with your heart and feel like you're doing films that you would like to watch and you would like to be a part of, and hopefully it all works out. And then when you look back at it, it meant something,
Sure. Alia, Parineeti, Kriti, Ayushmann?
Well, I think I've just come. So for me, it's just the very beginning. My second film is also not out. And yeah, I think there is obviously a certain amount of pressure at all stages. For me right now, it's more about kind of making a mark. It's more about kind of proving myself as an actor. So there are those basic things right now. So I'm not thinking about the future pressure. Yeah, if I think about that, I'll die. But that's all.
So,
You want me to speak again? That's the answer.
There's pressure. There's full pressure. A lot of stress, a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, and but pressure's good. Pressure right now is also a lot for me. So pressure.
okay.
I guess, we dwell in an industry where it's quite fickle. Every Friday, your stature changes, your positioning changes. I was probably written off during Hawaii Zada, but 27 days down the line, it was like, हाँ यार इसने अच्छा काम किया तुमने vacation. So, it happens with me, as far as I'm concerned. But I think the trends will change for sure. One beautiful trend will be that, probably more newcomers will be coming in the foreground, and probably not from the industry which was earlier known for nepotism. Now, I think it's open to all.
Sure.
So I think that will be the trend for sure.
It's very hard to predict trends for sure, but I know that I speak for all of us that it's a very privileged position to be in, to be at least counted, at least in the top 20, 30, 40, 50, I don't know, but at least in something. And that's all because of you guys, because you like watching our films, which is amazing. But that just increases the pressure to another level because like Alia said, there's just a lot of stress constantly. I think the amount that we are questioned about the films that we do or the clothes we wear or the picture we put up, every single thing is under a lot of scrutiny. So I think it'll just get worse with time because, digital platforms are increasing, everything is increasing. But yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm so glad that there are some expectations from all of us?
I mean, honestly, I was very fortunate that after student, I got a film like Highway because I'm very aware of what people must have assumed of me after they saw student. You know, another pretty face, come to look good, come to dance and songs, which I've done. Which I'm actually here for also. But I'm also here to act. I'm also here to perform, and I'm also here to challenge myself and push myself. And yeah, and then comes Imtiaz Ali with the script and says that, will you please do my film? And I read it in one night and I said, this is it for me. And Highway did kind of become it for me.
Fairly unusual choice for first film. You know, when you made that choice, when you made this movie and decided that this will be your first film, were you expecting to become an actor or become a star? I mean, it's hard to imagine that one would become a star if that was going to be the first choice, no?
In fact, I was not the first choice for the film, and before Vicky Dona, I was auditioning for a lot of films. I was getting roles like heroine ka best friend, second lead. Then I was like, yeah, theek hai yaar, I can do television, a lot of shows on television, but I'll do a film. My first film should be a special one. So I was just waiting for the right film, and this one happened, and nobody expected it to do well. Even I was expecting it to, you know, have a certain critical acclaim, but commercial success surpassed everybody's expectations. So I don't know, I don't expect much from life. I was like, okay, I'll do this, and this is interesting. And the script, the one-liner seemed very, it could creep you out. Sperm donor, kamal hai, sperm donor kaun si movie banti hai. But when I read this script, I think it touches you really well. I think towards the climax, there's a dichotomy, there's an irony that the sperm donor can't have a kid. So I think the script level is very, very good, and I always thought it would be special.
I think that the learning is that you must be quite objective about yourself and really take care of what you're doing. I think that's really the victory there.
Being a producer's son, being someone who's raised in the movies, were you not advised that's hardly the film you should do, and certainly not as your first film if you really are serious about being a leading man in the movies?
I didn't go to anybody for advice at that point. Honestly, I knew I'm unconventional. Now I know it sounds very cliched to sit and talk about it 3 years down the line. I knew I was not the run-of-the-mill so-called chocolate boy debutant who's going to be the producer's son making a debut, so I had to find a unique path. The way to set about it was to audition. I got lucky in an audition and I got selected by Yash Raj. Alia, can you hear me? And after that, I just gave in and submitted to the belief that Aditya Chopra thought I'm capable of playing this character. I wasn't. Now this director, he's not somebody who got convinced very easily. I spent 4 months convincing him I'm not that person. But I didn't give up. And by the time I realized what I was going to do in terms of, it was too, I was not thinking about the finality of it. I was not thinking about the day the film releases, whether I'll get offered a second film or a third film. I was just doing this to prove to myself that I'm capable of being an actor, and being an actor means you got to play characters that you don't even correlate to at any level. This guy was despicable at what he did at that point, but he had an emotion that he came from. He just wanted to be loved by his family. So you have to find things that make you believe in the positive side of a character sometimes and play it. I just got really lucky. The film released at a time where you, the media, the audience, was craving something new, something unique. It's a age-old take on Romeo and Juliet. He just put one twist in it. And this was that twist. He just changed one thing. What if Romeo and Juliet hated each other? So if you simplify it to that, Romeo and Juliet always works. I mean, Ram Leela came 1 year after that, also worked. So as a story, it works. The two characters work. So I didn't think that far ahead. And I think Vicky Dona was the same year. That was another unique film. The time, the wave had started, I guess. So I just got very lucky. I didn't think so. यार मुझे पता नहीं था काम वाम मिलने वाला कि नहीं. मैं तो बस लगा हुआ था. हाँ कुछ नहीं होता देख लेंगे. I was trying to just do it right for Habib. That's it.
New generation films. We're talking about new kinds of films. We're talking about a different grammar of filmmaking. You took a gamble on a film that was a masala entertainer as your first film. That gamble paid off. Heropanti was a big, huge hit. Did that cross your mind, as a young actor, or is one really, ultimately one chooses from the options that one has?
I don't know. I always felt that masala films are more safer as a gamble, actually. But I didn't think of it like that. as I said, I'm a little instinctive when it comes to films and narrations. So when my director was narrating me this script, I was really reacting to it. I was I liked her character. I liked the fact that there was this brattiness to her, which is a little Delhi and a little Haryana. But at the same time, she was very naive. And that's a very rare combination. Also, I think as a debut film, you need to kind of think in a different way. You can't think that, oh, you know, I'll play a superb character only. You have to kind of think of it as a package.
I can dance, I can sing, I can
Yeah, that
comedy,
was
I can do
more of
drama.
my director, that I'll make you wear everything from a sari to a dress to a this, because I want to show you like that. But yeah, that was not my choice. But I just felt that as a package, it was a really good platform for me to just come out, because I don't come from a film family. So I need to do something where the role is also such where I can perform, I can show the actor bit of me as well, and probably a little more than that, where there's a little, what people say, the glamour quotient and the bit of dancing and like a whole family entertainer.
You know, I really envy Kriti's position right now because that's the honeymoon phase you're going through right now after first film. You don't need at least 3 films to realize
Wait
what's
for some
happening.
time.
Kya ho raha
Wait
hai
for
yahan
some
par?
time.
Listen, her next film is Dilwale.
Again, yeah.
Right
Honeymoon
now.
continues.
Therefore, she will never experience what all of us have
Listen,
experienced.
all your first films were big hits. I never went through any honeymoon period after my first film, man.
आदित्य तुम्हारा और शराब का कॉम्बिनेशन बहुत सही है यार एक्शन रिप्ले में शराब होती ना हिट हो जाती हो
So, Aditya, did you find that the success of this film really did, in fact, typecast you?
Typecast me?
In the sense that, I mean, or was it just a pure coincidence that you were, again, sort of kind of drinking in the next
Actually,
one?
the way it played out, both films had nothing to do with each other. So I was doing kind of...
Both together.
I was doing nothing first, at home, basically. And then I...
Tend to do a lot of that. Nothing.
I didn't have a film or anything, and then Ayan came to me with Ye Jawani, which I contemplated and thought about a lot, and then finally I did it. And halfway after shooting Ye Jawani, Mohit offered me Ashiki. And then it just so happened that both had this whole alcoholic side to things. So, and then they released a few weeks apart in the same month. So they didn't have anything to do with each other, and after that I did Dawat Ishq, na? Dawat Ishq, yeah, so I kind of tried to change it up.
Do they come to you with like, इसमें एक alcoholic का role है sir?
Intense is a word that they use a lot. Kafi intense because they like feel like I'll like, get excited about that. But the alcoholism, I think they're keeping away because they know now that maybe he doesn't want to do any more of that.